You can say, "Come on, man, you're doing too
He's an
much." I
actor, man.
understood. You know, so I guess we'll start off here, man. I'm gonna start off here. A few weeks ago, I was presented. I was told there was going to be a show here, and then I was presented. And they said it was a group show. Now, group shows, I love group shows. Sometimes they don't really excite me like they used to. I always love to see the mind of one individual and see them navigate. But this group show was different that they presented to me. They showed me a list of every last person on it, and I was more than excited. Being an artist myself, being someone who doesn't just appreciate the work, I appreciate the journey of an artist because I'm one as well and I'm on it. And knowing that the soul searching that happens, the denial, the fight with yourself to even understand am I doing something of relevance? All of that matters to me. And it takes a different type of person to keep pushing forward and keep touching that brush on the canvas to the point where something special happens in that whole journey, in that process. There's a refining, there's a voice that becomes solid. It's not whimpering. And so everyone that was on that list, including you three, I'm excited to be sitting down here talking to on the new show, and I'm sorry, I gotta bring this up, The Art of Conversation. And we're here. So if you guys can go down the line and introduce yourself, and then we could talk about not just the art that you're going to have in the show, but why you chose it. But first, we'll just start with your name. So, can we start with you?
Yelena Lamm.
Can you say that one more time for me?
One more time. Yelena.
Yes.
Yes, spells like Yelena. And I don't know why is it difficult. It's like yellow. People can say yellow,
I know,
but
because
people don't say Yelena.
Yeah, I love it. It's such it's a fun name too. I love, like, you're the first one I've met. You know,
Oh, really?
So, yes.
It's a very popular name in Russia. It's
Yeah.
where I'm from, but I've been in Pittsburgh for the last 30 years.
30
so
years.
Yes.
And you can tell and for those watching, you can look on the shirt and you already know what's happening here. We're sitting here with an artist. Like, I love that.
Yeah, though it's not actually like, my painted, whatever. It's a pattern. It's a pattern was sold in anthropology. Hi.
I love it. Hey,
I know.
I enjoy that. That's when you know you found your tribe. When I see somebody wear the shirt like that, I say, that's my tribe. That's my people right there. That person understands me, and I understand them. And speaking of understanding that person, let's go down the line, man. Let's go down the line. How you doing today? And can you introduce yourself?
I'm Bob Ziller.
Bob Ziller.
Yes.
How you doing today, Bob?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
Good,
Thanks for
good.
having me.
Bob, how long have you been exploring this art journey?
I have been making art since I was a little kid. I did the cover of my grade school newspaper when I was in the second grade. So it's like over 50 years I've been doing this.
Oh, Bob, I thought you were 25. Are you serious? Serious, man. Art. See, that's for the rest of y'all out there. Art keeps you young too. So if you want to stay young, do art. Those for all the kids out there. But that's beautiful, man. My first art journey was also in second grade. That's
nice.
something we have in common, and I can't wait to dig in a little bit more in your story, Bob. Because out of all three, like I'm familiar with your work, but it's like my first time really kind of getting a chance to sit down with you and talk. So I'm really excited to see what you both are bringing to the table. Speaking of you both, there is one guy that's here that I know very well. And I'm extremely proud calling not just a friend, but I'm extremely proud to say this is one of the artists that inspired me, that really inspires me. And even some of the pieces that I've done recently have been, truthfully, if I jot the story back, like there's always that artist that inspires you. It can be a paint color or something like that. I went to one of your shows, Grant, and I brought some pieces, and I still have them in my archive, and I still come and look at them. Like the tape, the TKY
yeah,
pieces,
I
all of
remember
those
that,
things, the horses. You were one of those artists that the freedom in what you choose to create gave me permission.
Thank you.
So it's always dope to it's dope to see you in a show with this collective
Thank
and
you.
so high caliber. So yeah, if you can introduce yourself,
Thank
even though I
you,
messed
yeah.
that one up. I already called your name out there.
No. My name is Grant Catton. I'm a painter, acrylic painter. And Corey, like you were saying, I just want to return the compliment and say, you know, you were one of the first people that I met on the art scene, the first shows that I went to when I was very just starting to explore the art scene. And absolutely, whoever's listening out there, one of the most exciting painters doing the most interesting work in Pittsburgh right here.
Oh man, I
Corey,
appreciate it.
yeah.
And for those watching, yes, it's a bromance. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah,
It's okay.
it is.
It's okay. It's my guy.
Is it-
And I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Now, guys, we are all here. We have a show the 16th here at the Atithi Studios, and each and every one of you guys got a chance to pick a piece to put in the show with other artists that are at the same caliber as you, which I put on the top of the shelf. So, what piece did you pick, and why? And I guess we'll start with you.
And it's interesting because I have not picked a piece yet.
That's the artist. I love you. I'm just going to say that to you right now. I love you. That has been the number one answer that I've gotten, and it has been the best one. Like,
That's
you know what I
good.
mean?
Yeah,
Like we'll put the piece on wet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It will go on the wall wet.
Actually, I don't think it will go on the wall bad because I'm looking at what I have and I'm like, you know, reading and thinking about the message of this show again and like trying to think like which of the pieces that I have would really be a good fit for the show. So and that's why I'm really excited to be here today to learn more about the show, about everyone in the show. So maybe it will give me a little, you know, better idea, some inspiration, some, you know, information we say. And yeah, because I have several pieces I'm considering for the show.
Right.
I'm trying to think which one will, you know,
Really?
represent me better, like which one is more maybe important for me and shows like because it should be something about myself, like a milestone, an event,
Right.
something. So yeah,
You know, when this morning because it was this morning, I'm also like that last minute guy, right? This is just the way I roll. But when I was thinking about the questions to ask, it was that question, and I was like, hold up, no. That's not how to approach it. You don't just pick a piece to put in the show. You come and fill out the space. You come and see it. You see what you just explained that was the best answer that you can give. Like, you know, let me take in the data. Let me fill this out. Let me see what piece resonates the most here. I may have some ideas, but the thought is not settled yet. But Bob, what about you? Have you kind of committed to a piece, or is it still kind of playing around with the elements in the filling
Well,
out?
when I got the invitation to the show, it's called Inward Bound, and it seemed like you wanted a really personal take on, you know, what you're doing as an artist. And for me, I ended up I just visited my childhood home recently, and I opened a drawer and there was a piece of artwork there that was actually, when I looked at the back of it, it was actually the first artwork I made as an adult, like after college. And it was, since I'd been doing art all my life since I was a little kid, but you know, I had taken a bit of a break. I ended up studying, I have a degree in English, so I just had a few art courses in college, and it was a point in my life where I was consciously wanted to make artwork, trying to get my life together at that point in time. I had quit school 3 times. I was really like psychologically a mess. and I had read about a Native American sand painting as being, they would make a painting on the ground. The person who needed healing would, sit or lay down in the painting, and then the painting was, destroyed, dissolved. But it was part of a healing process, like specifically. And I also remember reading about yantra art, Indian art that was made to facilitate like meditation and sort of gathering your mind. And I think at that point in my life, I really needed to get my mind together. So it was very specific. I started making mandalas with just a compass and magic markers. And I was kind of surprised when I picked up this painting that had been sitting in a drawer for literally 40 years. And I looked at the back of it and it said Yantra number 1. So it's actually like the first artwork that I made like as an adult, of like consciously wanting to make artwork as a sort of inward like healing process. So it's at the frame shop now.
I love that. I love that. That's
yeah.
Why have you been working on this piece for 40 years? No, that's
It's just been sitting there for a long time. Yeah. So it's kind of, I was pleasantly surprised to find it. Yeah.
It's not wow, man. That sometimes you'll create something, and at that moment it may not hold any type of significance, but it'll tell you when it's ready. There's a time and place where it can be ready to be shown, and it can bring this joy. Like I no longer worry about creating for something. I'm in the act of creating. That is more important for me. I was talking about it in a previous podcast, and there's it kind of finds its way. It finds its own way. Like we get it's, I don't know, man. It's just that story that you just told, man. I'm gonna remember that forever. I'm gonna remember that forever. That was good, man. That was good. Grant.
Oh, thanks.
Grant. Have you thought about the show? And,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've not thought about the show, but have you thought about the piece that you feel like would represent the theme?
Sure. Yeah, so I chose to create something new for the show.
Right.
I don't know if that was, were we allowed to do that?
No.
No.
You did something 40 years ago.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. No. No, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm notorious for not reading through the prompt properly. But no, I chose to create something new because what I'm working on now, the style that I'm working in now, I didn't feel like was expressive enough really of what the theme of the show was trying to be. So I kept going back to the prompt, and what got me was the word reflections. It was like reflections of the self, I think was I think. I'm really exposing how little. Anyway, no. And so I chose to do a self-portrait in a style that I like to work in, which is sort of a maximalist, like style with a lot of what would seem like mistakes, but kind of working with the mistakes and kind of turning them into something. I feel like that's kind of representative of the style that I like to work in, but it's also representative of the journey of life that we're all taking, like making mistakes and kind of turning it into something.
Absolutely.
And I had a long journey of trying to get to where I'm at today to be an artist. I was a writer. I had a whole other career as a journalist. I had a career in the finance world, and I think it's sort of reflective of that because I'm sort of in a tie and a suit and tie, and I have my sunglasses on in the picture. So I'm really, really excited about it, but it's not finished. Still very much working on it. So.
Oh, I love this. I love this, man. I love this. And it's the show is starting to me it's already great hearing everyone's perspective, understanding how they're approaching it. even if I wasn't able to make the show, I feel like I've already I'm excited already. I'm already happy to see a collective of like yourselves in one space. What is, if you don't mind me asking, if somebody was to ask you why you create, I would love to hear your answer. You know, why is it that you love this? Like, why do you create? I know it's such a tough question, and that just hit me.
It is a tough question.
That hit me, and I was like, that's a tough question, but I think this is more personal for me because in my journey, the biggest battle is myself, and there's days where I don't get a chance to hit the canvas, and sometimes it turns into weeks, sometimes it turns into months, but it gets to a point where I have no other choice. I have to let this out some way, somehow, and this is the way I release it. I don't, it's just the way I guess the universe made me. But it's always good for me to ask, even you guys, why is that something you're familiar
sure.
with?
Oh yeah, no, I can answer. It's right now, this day and age. I think I'm really living. That's like the time of my life. It's something I've been trying to get to for my entire life, and I had my. I've been drawing and painting since I was a child, like many, but I've been taking it seriously since I was a child. I was taking secondary school art classes. I went to the art college. And I loved it, always loved it. I always loved art. I grew in St. Petersburg, Russia. I was surrounded by art. I was like, at the Hermitage every week. Just like, seeing probably the best art in the world. And then life turned into like different direction. Family, kids, immigration, new country, new language, new everything, and me here with 2 children I have to provide for. And I started graphic design. I don't know how to use computers. I've been working in graphic design for 25 years. By my sons, I have twin sons. Now they're 36 now, my boys, and when they started driving 20 years ago, it was the time when I started painting more, but I've been still working full time. I was doing it as a side gig. I've been doing local art festivals for almost 12 years, or more than 12 years. So anyways, then somehow my full-time job was becoming more and more part-time. My art career was becoming more and more full-time, and now I'm a pretty much full-time professional artist. And not a long time ago, the artist I really admire, and I was actually taking her class for portrait painting, and she told me something that I always wanted to hear. She said, "You've been like, just keep doing it, keep painting. You've been born to do this." And yes, I've been.
I love that. Bob, what about you? What is why do you think you can't stop? If I was that asked.
There's a quote, I think it's by the poet Auden, that says, being a poet isn't an occupation, it's a condition. And I think that's the way it is with all artists.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think it's just something, it's like our fingerprints, it's what you are. It's that you can't stop, and there's just no way you're going to go through life without making stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a condition. You have to do it.
It's wild. Sometimes I run from it. And then it feels like I'm running from it, but I can't see my life without it.
Yeah,
I really can't. It's so wild. So Grant, what about you? Like, why is it that you can't stop painting?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree with what Auden said, and his quote there. I think it's more of just like a compulsion. I'm at a loss to kind of explain why, but I just know that if I wasn't painting, I would be writing. If I wasn't writing, I would be trying to build something with my hands, or I would be making food or making I think we all kind of have the creative impulse, but some of us it's a little bit more of a compulsion, but that's it. I think that's just, it comes from somewhere that I don't really understand, but it's, you know, we're all duty bound to kind of follow it in whatever form it takes. You know?
Absolutely, man. I don't think you can say it any better. I know my wife tells me I'm like Betty White in the Snickers commercial when I don't pay. I'm just always upset, you know what I mean? So it is where I find myself. So hey guys, I want to say thank you so much for episode 3. This has been extremely phenomenal. If you guys want to not just meet the artists, but also experience their work, which I think is even more important, come on down to Atithi Studios on the 16th of this month, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you're definitely gonna leave inspired. You're gonna leave informed, and I think you're doing yourself a disservice by not coming. All right. Hello.
Thank you.
So
Corey.
guys, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right, and that's the end at TT Studios. Hello. All right. Thank you so much,
There you
Bill.
go. I already got
Bob?
Oh, you already got
Oh,
you?
Bob?
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Oh, he snuck it in. He snuck it in.
Oh,
There we go.
Ziller.
Ziller.
And I'm right there.
Thank you guys. Hey, on the 16th is going down.